Tell me if they can see me. Okay. You tell me if it's okay. Because we're live now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You can see?
Yeah, you're right in the middle of the screen.
Okay, so it's amazing. Yeah, let's see, you know.
Exactly in the center.
Do I have to do anything here, or
Huh?
do I have to do anything here?
No, not everybody is here, you know, around the wall, so.
Okay.
The only
Say
the
you're
candle
live, so.
the candle is not in the video. It's just the
I can
top.
I can just show them, okay? We just
You can.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine. At
Okay.
least they can see it, they see it. Kabbalah. So, welcome everyone. Tonight is the open house for the TLE, 10 examinations. I'm very excited that you guys are here. And just to explain, you know, something very powerful that we always reminding ourselves, and Michael Berg just explained in the first class of, not first, but for now, for this session was the first class for TLE. Now Michael Berg will do once a month online. I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. Thursday or Wednesday was the class at 2 o'clock for 1 hour with question and answer. And the main thing that Michael explained, you know, the TLE, it's not really like we're not really studying. It's not like a regular class that you study, right? We're connecting. So, yes, he also said, I will try to do my best to download it to, in the sense that we can understand some stuff, but it's not about understanding, because we know in Kabbalah we explain that something that we try to grasp, to really understand, we need it in the energy. Something very powerful that Rabbi should explain, that, you know, the Kabbalist, Rabbi should explain, when he needs to explain Kabbalah, you know, because he downloaded all the information from the other world, you know, so how you can explain Kabbalah in the physical realm, and you need to explain the spiritual world. Doesn't work together, right? This is why Rabbi he write it in a way, he said, I found some words that I can explain the upper worlds, but still we're limiting the energy because now it's in a box, right? But when we're using those words, we clean ourselves with the upper walls. Does that make sense? It means like it's a vehicle, it's a bridge. So many times in Kabbalah we can read some words, or we can hear some words in classes. Maybe it sounds like I don't really understand what just been said. But right now we make the connection. You know, so many times even using your computer. And every time you push the button, you know like what you did. Just, you know, if you press F7, it will open this type of window. But do you really know what's happening in the computer? No, we don't know, right? So I was just saying, we found words that when we use them in Kabbalah, we can connect. One of the things that I wrote, he wrote the language of the branches. We know this is the translation of the Zohar, that to help us to cleave ourselves with all the blessings of the Zohar. Here, Rabbi actually giving us the knowledge and actually down the energy, because Tree of Life, it's what the Ari wrote, the Ari Kadosh, Rabbi Tzadok Luria. And Rabbi says about himself that he came to this world, he have the spark of reincarnation of the Ari Kadosh, that he came to finish the work, and he downloaded, you know, the translation or the explanation, or to help us to connect with the level of Tree of Life of the Ari, Rabbi Tzadok Luria, okay? So from the point of the Creator, he sent down to earth in different generations, different Kabbalists, but each Kabbalist revealed different type of information or blessings or tools that we can type to the upper walls. Okay, makes sense? So what we have left to do, just to connect. So what does it mean? It means, you know, it says in the Torah, I'm just reminding us more, like again and again and again, because when we need it, it's going to appear. You know, it means like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You know, many times in life, you know, sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't remember everything I studied, right? And one day you need it, and suddenly you remember it. Where is it? It's all like in the, you know, it's programmed already. it's all in the, how do you call, the cloud, you know, the cloud that you save with your phone. But here, there is endless welcome. There is endless of gigabyte, it's called gigabyte, right, in the cloud that we can. So we can't remember everything, but it's in the cloud. You know, you think we remember which type of pictures we have in our phone? Yeah, we know, maybe family, maybe, but really each one, what he's talking about, no, we don't know. When you scroll, but it's there, right? The same here. What we're doing, we're going to read, and we, again, try to explain as much as we can to download it to the 1%. Don't try to grasp it here. What we want to actually awaken in, we want to awaken something in our heart that we click, and I said, okay, you know what, that thing I want to work on, I want to change. The rest, don't worry, it's in the program. It's going to be saved. When you need it, you're going to connect with it, okay? So we'd like also to welcome all of our friends in the live streaming that join us to this open house of TLE here in Kabbalah Center, Miami. You're welcome to come and join us also next week. So every time that we start what we're doing, we just focus on our energy for those that are first time here, because we know that the Kabbalah is explained. One of the main things we need to do and to work on our consciousness is to bring ourselves from the past and from the future, and to make sure I'm in the present time. Most of the day, if you try to pay attention, and the thing we don't pay attention, we either in the past or either worried about the future, right? We're talking about the past or we're worried about the future. But what's happening in the present time, we all the time like dragging those two types of energies. But in the present time, we're supposed to plant new seeds in order for us to see new results. But if I'm busy in those two worlds, I'm not planting new seeds that the results I want to see. So what does it mean for us? Most of the time, we don't have control. And we are people that we're seeking for control. And we think that we have control. But actually, the opponent, he tricks us in our thought and our brain that he let us to think about other stuff. And we're so busy, we don't have time even to stop and to think just a second, where is my mind? Where I'm at right now? So at least here, what we're trying to do is to bring ourselves at least for 1 hour, you know, from the past and the future, and to make sure that we are here in the present time, that we want to receive a message that we support each one of us in his spiritual journey. Okay? So what we want to do, again, you don't have to. If you want, you can just close your eyes, take a deep breath over your belly, just relax your thoughts. It's not a meditation, it's really quick. It just bless you. It's just to focus our energy. Just take a deep breath over your belly. And repeat it a few times in your own time. Again, it's not a meditation, just we want to relax. Feel the chair. Bring yourself to the now. Let go of all of the day, of the week. Let go of the future. But it's really important. It's this special moment in life. And right now, what we here, the now, focusing our energy, connecting, downloading the blessings from Tree of Life. Keep focusing the energy. I'm going to read a verse from Tree of Life, from the Ari Kadosh, to connect all of us and to elevate our consciousness to a high level of consciousness. לפני הצמצום היה אין סוף ומלא כל המציאות. דע, כי טרם שנאצלו הנאצלים ונבראו הנבראים, היה אור עליון פשוט, ממלא כל המציאות. ולא היה שום מקום פנוי בבחינת אוויר ריקני וחלל. אלא היה הכל ממולא מן אור אין סוף פשוט ההוא, ולא היה לו לא בחינת ראש ולא בחינת סוף, אלא הכל היה אור א' פשוט שווה בהשוואה א', והוא נקרא אור אין סוף. Let's take another deep breath from our belly, and when you exhale, you can open your eyes. So what's beautiful about, TLE, except let's say doing the Kabbalah 1, right? You don't need to have any other classes in TLE. If you want, of course, you can listen to previous lectures, and also we have a lot of lectures of Michael Berg. I think there is like maybe 60 or maybe more recordings of old lectures of Michael Berg, so in Kabbalah.com. So you can always go and listen to more and more lectures. Also, they start to upload, I think, classes of the Rav of TLE. So there is so much out there, right? But again, when we study together, I think it's much more powerful because you actually will draw all of the lights that need to be drawn tonight. It's not like so we're doing it together. It's not like we sit in here and you sit in there. It's like we're all one in the same room, and our friends at home, of course. So we're doing it together. So I'm just reading, as the Rav explained many times. The Rav says why you need to read the words of the books. First of all, we cleave in ourselves with the root and the seed level of the righteous that wrote the book. Second, we activate in the energy, because it's channels of energy, okay? So I'm going to read and translate. We're going to receive some messages to our spiritual journey. So Rabbi Shlomo continues saying, "Hamidbahem divrei tikunei HaZohar." He says what we can understand from tikunei HaZohar. It's funny because right now it's a special time. You see, we're reading that from Rabbi Shlomo because this is a special time that we're supposed to read and scan from tikunei HaZohar. Because what tikunei HaZohar does in this specific time, it's helping us to awaken ourselves to the level of tshuva, repentance, and helping us to transform negativities into positivities. Okay? Tikunei HaZohar also, it's opening the channels of sustenance, abundance. Like we can scan it and read it for the entire year. Thank God. We have now the Tikunei HaZohar translated to English. So the 3 volumes, if you don't have them, is the white Zohar. And also we have just the Aramaic and the green book, Tikunei HaZohar. So just for you to know. So he says here, because we read before from Tikunei HaZohar, it says, what we can understand from Tikunei HaZohar, שישנה שבועה, there is a swear, שלא יתעורר אור החסד והאהבה בעולם, that the light of mercy and the love in the world is not going to be awakening, okay? עד שמעשיהם של ישראל בתורה ומצוות, till the actions of the Israelite with the Torah and precept. What is Torah and precept? Torah represent the level of Zir and Pin. This is the level of the blessings. And the precepts, it's all of the rules of what we should do and shouldn't do. Because we know in the free will that we have is the choice we have to choose between tree of life or tree of knowledge, bad and good. Actually, tree of knowledge, bad and good, we don't need to choose. We just choose in tree of life. If not, automatically we are with the other side, with that energy of tree of knowledge, bad and good. But the free will that we have is to choose between the good and bad. Like many times we can say, I have free will to do whatever I want, this ego. No, it's not about, you can do whatever you want. But the result that we're going to face, it's not like what we wish to have, right? So we can do whatever we want. And to have expectations that this is the result I want to have. So he says here something very, very interesting. Because we suppose in this world, because there are rules, when we come in here and we say I want to be like the light, we're supposed to be happy that the Creator, He gave us already the answers for the test. Can you imagine? Like you're going to a test, any test, and before you go to sit in your chair, so the tester, the teacher, the one that actually tested you, he gives you the answers.
I like it.
You like it, right? But what we do, we said, no, I know, thank you. And we throw it to garbage. And you just, put it aside, no garbage. It's all books. And you do the test and you fail. And you fail. And then again, he give you again, and you fail. You give you again, you fail. So, what do you understand? I give you the answers. Just answer. What are you doing? So we feel always that we know better. I know better. Whatever that thing, And Rabbi Shlomo explained that the light is simple. Simple. Love is simple. Everything is simple. We complicated everything. Complicate everything. So he says here, the light of the mercy and the light of the love is not going to be awakened if the Israelite, they're not going to take the right actions with the Torah and precepts, יהיו על הכוונה שלא לקבל פרס. What does it mean? In the right way. That their intention need to be that I'm doing it not because I want to get reward. Okay? Now, many times, we talk in Kabbalah about purification. Have you heard that before? Purification, right? We have different tools that we're supposed to purify ourselves, right? Unfortunately, we can also fall into that realm of I can do it from the 1% level. So again, the first time, wow, I feel the energy, it's amazing, whatever. And then okay, I get used to it also for whatever that physical or spiritual tool, I can do it also on a physical level, right? These are one of the tricks of the opponent. He can put in our mind that, we get used to something, so I know what I'm doing. When I know what I'm doing, that's it, gone. This is why I need to be excited and always. We talked about it before, but just to remind ourselves, I need to make sure that every time I'm doing something is the first time. So tonight is the first time we study Kabbalah together. This is the first class of TLE. Yes, it's open house. For some of you, maybe it's the first time, but it is first time for all of us. Okay? It's amazing to see about the writings of Rav Ashlag, because that's already I studied so I don't know how many times, but the more you read the books of Rav Ashlag, every time you read it, it's like you have different understanding. It's not like a love story that you read in the same beginning, same end, right? So it's something, it's alive. The books of Rav Ashlag and the books of the Zohar, it's something alive. First of all, we changing, we growing, and also the energy that has been revealed, it's the energy that's related to this specific time. So he's saying, יהיו על הכוונה שלא לקבל פרס. So the intention that we should have, whatever I'm doing, is not because I want the reward. Because if I want the reward of something, what does it mean about my vessel right now, about my intention? Now I'm connecting with desire to receive for the oneself alone. Simple. We need to train our brain already to make sure I recognize it. But it's very hard to recognize it during the day. Because everything is operating so fast, our thoughts. We don't think about it. We're just like in a robotic mode. So he's saying, אלא רק להשפיע נחת רוח ליוצר ברוך הוא. So what is the right intention? That everything that I'm doing because I'm preparing the right vessel, that the light of the Creator can reveal through me to the world. So what's happened when the light reveals through me to the world? I'm the first to receive. So my vessel will be first fulfilled. So no worries, no? No worries. I mean, the more I will reveal, the more I will receive. It's a cycle. What's happened when we start to ask ourselves, or the opponents start to ask us question? We stop. We stop. We start to think. If you try to write something, you see in movies writers, right? They're trying to type or to write, right? Mm. When you think, you can't write. When you write, you're not thinking. You're downloading. Did you know it before? Did you pay attention? It sounds confusing, right? Because when you're writing something, you think you're not thinking. You just receive it and you download it, right? Suddenly, what's happened when you don't think. When you start to think what to write, you stop. So you're thinking, right? So what's happened to us many times, we can share, we can connect, we can feel good, and suddenly he put in a question, and we start to think. So we stop the connection. Stop. We stop the connection, and now we start to get confused. That's why when we start to do something, and especially we're connected to the light, we need to make sure not just to continue, to protect it. But we don't think we need protection. We think, I'm connected, I feel great, everything is okay, no, we do. Because they're always telling us, we can jump from realm to realm in less than a second. Right? Did you feel sometimes your mood is changing like in seconds? Did you feel like that or no? You can be happy for a second, after a second you can be angry. Then upset, then, right, like it's insane. What's happened? You've been happy a second ago. What's happened suddenly you feel like that? So he's saying, שזה סוד השבועה. This is the secret of the swearing. השבעתי אתכם בנות ירושלים וכולי, there is a sentence that say that. באופן שכל אריכות הגלות והייסורים שאנו סובלים, he says, the exile, how long we will stay in exile, and the suffering that the universe is suffer, depend on what he says, תלויים ומחכים לנו עד שנזכה לעסק התורה ומצוות בשמה. It will continue happening until we're going to have the merit to work with the Torah, tree of life, and the precepts with the right intention. So what does it mean? It means that there's no one on white horse that will come and will say, "Hey, I'm your soulmate. Hi, come," and just and take us. It's not going to happen in that way. It's not like those movies, right? It means that each one of us need to do this work to make sure to bring this light to the universe. It means, Rabbi says, in different place, it says, et la'asot. This is the time of doing. Not just thinking, not meditating, it's like actions all the time. Doing. Because it says, till we get the merit. What does it mean to get the merit? It means, it's not like someone will bless us to have the merit. It means, merit, it means, when I'm taking an action with that I want to change, I start to purify my vessel. Usually when we take in actions outside of our comfort zone, it means something that it's difficult to me to do. I know it's good for me, I don't want to do it, but you know what, I'm going to do it, but how do you feel after? Let's say you don't really like to go to the gym, or you don't like really to sweat, or Zumba, whatever those things, but you go. How do you feel after? Feel good or no?
Good.
But then day after, again, come from work, oh, traffic, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, you know what, okay, I'm going. So it means like every day it's a new day. But yesterday you went, you feel amazing. Take a shower, you feel, oh wow, I feel my muscles. What's happened yesterday? What's happened day after? It's like a new game. It's a new blessings, new day, new game. So we need to restart all the time, restart all the time. So he's saying, until we're going to have the merit. What is the merit? We need to purify our vessel. When I'm purifying my vessel, I'm going against my nature. Again, negative nature, not positive nature. Against my negative nature that stops me to do what is good for me. One, I need to check what is good for me and I'm not doing. Two, what is bad for me and I'm still doing it. Right? I need to check those two things. If we just want to have that, merit for that, he says, right away, it's going to be awakening the light of love, and that mercy. So that energy of love and that energy of mercy, that because of the action we just did, going to be awakening. Now every time we awaken in that energy, it's going to be awakened not just for me, it's for the entire world. We're affecting everyone. So many times we think, if I choose to do restriction, yes or no, it's just for me, because I feel it. No. This light is for the whole world. The Zohar explained in volume 1, in the prologue, there is a place in the upper world called the treasury, outside, the treasury. Michael Berg gave a lesson about it once, and he explained that in that treasury, it doesn't matter if you're doing small good deeds or big good deeds during the day. Because sometimes, we can do small good deeds and we judge ourselves. Oh, what did it just, it's nothing. No, never say it's nothing. What does it mean it's nothing? If you're doing a good deed today, it's not nothing. You reveal light. When you say nothing, you're blocking this energy. Because any good deed, it's going to where to the treasury. It's called the collective. That collective affecting the entire world. So each one of us contribute to that collective. We all one. This is one universe, one energy, one world, yes or no? But if I'm thinking just about myself, I'm actually blocking all of those blessings. When I'm starting to take the actions and I'm reminding myself that right now, even though I'm doing something against my nature right now, but I'm awakening that light of love and light of mercy, it's not just for me. Because many times we sit and ask it, oh, what will happen? How is this world will change? Look at the negativity, look at this, right? Sometimes you listen too much to news and you kind of fall into that illusion of look how much negativity, look at this, and you feel like, oh, there's no solutions. Yes, it's happened to you sometimes? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes I wonder, yes. So imagine if it's happened to us as spiritual people and Kabbalah students, what about all of the people in the world that don't have that spirituality, don't have the tools? What they are doing? It's our responsibility to make sure to bring and to awaken this light. It's like we have the flashlight, and there is a lot of people working in the dark. So when you actually feel all of those negativities and you're like, oh, I don't know what happened, so actually you're taking your flashlight out and nobody can see the road. But if I'm continuing to put my flashlight now and doing more and more, I'm creating huge flashlight, or maybe it's, I don't know, projector, right? I can help and save more and more souls in this world. Maybe we don't see the impact that we're creating, but we're creating an impact. When you throw I've explained it in TLE, like when you throw a stone into the water, right? What's happened? So the stone falling in one place, but it's create ripples, right?
Yeah.
And the ripples open. This is what happened to us when we're doing a good deed and when we pushing ourselves to do something against our nature or comfort zone. We awaken an energy of love right away and the light of mercy. So what do you think will happen? So try to imagine, you see something in the movies, right? Imagine the energy around you start to create ripples and share with the world. I don't know if you remember, but we used to do many years ago with the Rav. We used to do Kaddish, we used to do this with the hand. Immortality, and we scream like almost in all languages. I don't know if somebody remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what is that? Waves. We're kind of sending the waves of immortality to the entire world, right? So maybe from the side, for somebody comes the first time, it looks like weird. What are you guys doing? Shouting and moving your hand, right? But from the point of the universe, we need to remind ourselves there are a lot of energies around us. There are a lot of things that we can, just by movement, we can move different energies. Because when a person is upset and angry, what he's doing, he's taking action, right? He can hug, he can throw something. When somebody is happy, also doing something. He dance, he move, right? So either or, we kind of expressing ourselves with movements, right? We rather to express ourselves when we're happy, and also we want to do meditations or to send the light. We want to express it also to know that when we have just an intention. I don't know if you watched this recent video of the experiment they did with the aura. There is a machine that checks in the aura.
Oh, yeah.
And they took one of the teachers, it was in Israel, and not Kabbalah teacher, but the rabbi, and they just did an experiment. They all did the machine, and just told him, okay, now pray, now put tefillin, put the talit, now do this, different. You see the car was changing. And then he told him, do nothing, just sit, don't use nothing. Then he told him, just put the intention about something, pray like something positive. So he put the intention, you see suddenly like a white bulb above his head. So we don't really appreciate like the power that we have. The Rav always said, mind over matter. We don't really appreciate the power we have in our thoughts, in our brain. And what it says here, it says, שסגולתו להמשיך סוד הכתוב ונחל עבור השם. And he says, because the sentence says, when we do that, the light of the Creator will dwell in his vessel. ואז נזכה, then we're going to have לגאולה שלמה, the complete redemption. Now, redemption, we can bring redemption in a personal way and in a global way. When talking about Messiah, the Kabbalists usually there is the personal Messiah and there is the global Messiah. It says even to that degree, if a couple that they married and live in the same house, if they have true love among them and working like really together, they can bring personal Messiah. Can you imagine? It's really high level of love and high level of energy, personal Messiah. And what it means for us, it means like when we connect with that level, now we can see how we can help and share and elevate other people. Because always it says, you can't give what you don't have. So first you need to have, elevate yourself. Now you can give a hand and take somebody else with you. Because the Zohar says, whatever gift that you receive, it's because you're supposed to share it. Whatever gift you have, it's not yours. You received it from the light, you used it in this world, but you received it because you're supposed to share. If you're smart, you need to share. If you have a lot of money, you need to share. If you have wisdom, you need to share. Everything you got, because we have different levels of people in this world. So we receive it not to judge other people. No. We receive it because we're supposed to give, to share. So the light, give all of those talented, or all of those even physical things to people. Yes, we can say it's from past life, they earn it, we can say a lot of things, yes, okay. But still, everything is from the Creator, at the end of the day. Zohar Salvation will explain because you're supposed to share. So he continues saying, גם נתבהר שאי אפשר שכל כלל ישראל יבוא לתגור. It says, but we know that not everyone, it's almost impossible that all the Israelites will come to that level of purification. זולת על ידי לימודי קבלה. But they can do it, just how? Just if they study Kabbalah. So we can purify ourselves, he says, just if we study Kabbalah. Now just to remind you, for those, it's the first time here, that Rabbi should explain that when we dealing with other types of studies, right, it will be very hard to connect with the light of the Creator. Because it says you can study, you can feel the light, but when you leave the book, you kind of suddenly you don't remember and you don't do it and you're not changing. When we dealing with Kabbalah, I was going to explain, we're dealing with the names of God all the time. Everything you're reading in the Zohar, in the books of the Kabbalists, come to connection, we listen to the Torah, this class, everything we're dealing with is the name of God. And he says when you deal with the name of God, it's like a mantra all the time. So all the time it's with you. So even though let's say now you leave the class, but you continue talking, right? 7 names of God, 40 names of God, scanning the Zohar, coming to Shabbat, holidays, whatever you are doing, it's always around us. When something is always around us, we get reminders to do and to change. Okay? Make sense? Just to
But
make
you're
sure.
saying when something's around us, it's a reminder to change. What is that? Can you give it?
Yes, not around us, like around us. Around us, it means like when I'm using the tools all the time. So actually I'm dealing with the name of God all the time. When I'm dealing with the name of God, it means I'm connecting all the time. All the time connecting. So if you're using the Zohar, 70 names of God, we used to have a picture here, so just imagine it's still here. 42 names of God, right? So now even this class, so every time we listen to any class, right? We're connecting with the name of God. Now as I said, saying also what he's saying here, so when we connecting, how we can purify ourselves when we study Kabbalah. Just reminding us, why to study Kabbalah? Why it's so important? Why it says, what Kabbalah it says, it's the easiest way to purify ourselves. It's very powerful, and also sometimes it doesn't seem like, right? Why it doesn't seem like? It's what we said in the beginning. The intention, yes, but how the opponent tricks us, right? Because
That's the biggest.
yeah, the intention, of course, we can have, but how he tricks us, because he always will bring us different ways that will look easier. Why? Because we're not really, because he doesn't want us to connect with the truth. Because that's called wisdom of truth. Torah Emet. Wisdom of truth. Truth, it's one of the name of God. Emet. One of the name of God, yes. So the thing is, when we want to connect with the truth, we need to stick to the truth. We need to stick to this way. How can I see changes? If I'm changing all the time, places, teachers, studies, all the time, but what's happened? I'm tasting. I'm just tasting. I'm not eating. Just tasting. Right? We're doing like, we're tasting. This restaurant, changing. So he said, this is the easiest way to purify ourselves. המספיקה גם לקטן דעת. It's enough even for those that don't really understand or really like develop in like the spiritual world. It's okay. Even קטן דעת, I mean like even kids. So if you want to think like a kid, it's also for you. If you don't want the responsibility yet, okay, also you can receive it. But קטן דעת is meant קטנות, right? קטנות means it starts from a level of kid. And sometimes enough we behave as kids, right? We're like, when we don't want to take responsibility, we kind of shrink in our brain like, what you said? No, I didn't know, I didn't think about it, no, I didn't. What do you mean? Just say, I'm sorry, I did a mistake, I didn't do it, that's it, right? This is like adult. What are they going to do to you? He says, מה שאין כאן בדרך העסק בתורה הנגלה בלבד, but if a person studied just Torah, it means if we study just the Torah, the reveal, Torah, אי אפשר לזכות על ידי, you can't really earn by it. לזכות, it means like to purify yourself. זולת ליחידי סגולה, just few special souls can do that. Just few special souls, because why just few special souls? Because again, the light send down to earth, those righteous people, that they can, each letter from the Torah, it's a world. But just few souls can understand it and see it. That's because the light led them to see it. Okay? Because they need to explain to us what's going on. So he says, just Yechidus good, there's few. Sometimes we can say, look, but this Kabbalah did it, this Kabbalah did it, so I can also do it. Okay, please, if you want, try. But I was just say no. So Kabbalah, it's the easiest way to purify ourselves and to connect with the Creator. And also those special souls, they did a lot and put a lot of effort to achieve it. But not everyone, it's not for everyone. מטעם המבואר לאל, בזה נתבהרה היטב האפסיות שבקושייה הרביעית והחמישית שבתחילת הגמרא, he asked few questions at the beginning, והקושייה השלישית שהיא הפחד שלא יחמיץ, and now at the third question, he says that sometimes a person, he has the fear that he's going to miss something. הנה אין כאן פחד ולא כלום. He says here there's no fear and nothing. It's interesting, what he writes, but if you think about it for a second, why do we have this fear even to miss something? Think about it, it's interesting, right? Just this concept we can talk about, because we said at the beginning, right, we did this focus in energy, right? So most of the time we are in the past or in the future. What about the moment? So when I feel I'm missing something all the time, it means I'm actually not connecting to nothing. I'm just feeling like this empty space all the time. I'm missing this, I'm missing this. It's like, I'm not enjoying right now what I have. What you're missing. So I was just saying, here, you're not missing nothing. You miss nothing. And there's no fear, he says, no fear and you're missing nothing. He says, because if in the past, the person, he left the way of the light, that happened once, in the past he says, it was because two things. Or maybe they reveal stuff they shouldn't reveal. This is why. Or they took the words of Kabbalah at the external way. Because also Kabbalah you can take in an external way, not to connect with the internal. Because everything in this world, also in the way we explain Kabbalah, have the internal and the external. So he said maybe they took just the external and they connect with just the external energy of the Kabbalah. במשמעותם החיצונית, דהיינו בהוראות גשמיות, they used a physical or material explanations. ועברו על לא תעשה לחפש בכל תמונה. You know, there are different rules that you shouldn't bow to a statue or to a picture. ועל כן באמת הייתה חומה בצורה מסביב החוכמה הזאת. And that's really, you know, and it says in a true way, honest way. So now it's been created like a wall around this wisdom. So if there is a wall around this wisdom, you're not really connecting with the truth, with the inner wisdom. Because you know, also when we think about for a second, okay? And again, it doesn't matter, you know, how many years we study. It's about how I'm connecting. How I'm connecting. Because you know those we used to have actually, I don't fear, but in Israel. You know those pictures that it looked like a kind of a chaotic drawing of colors, and you don't understand like why it's even on the wall. And when you concentrate and do let go, suddenly you see beyond, and you see like a beautiful picture inside. You know those pictures?
Hologram.
How do you call it?
Hologram.
No, it's something
Hey, what?
different.
Hologram.
Abstract.
I think
Is the name?
that's what you're
I don't know the name.
magnifying.
What you guys call? Okay. But you know what I'm talking about?
What's it called?
I don't know the name, but we used to have it in the center, in beautiful, like big pictures. When you come in the center, so you know it's like you can test yourself. You look at it,
I see.
it's amazing.
When you walk closer, you see it
Not
clearly.
closer, you know, you can extend whatever you want, wherever you want. It's to do let go. You
Look
have
at-
to let go on your thoughts.
Look at the credit card. They have that. It's a hologram. The little square on pretty much on every one. So depend the way you look.
You're talking about when you see from the side. No, this is something else. I'm talking about it's really a picture of colors. You look straight. When you do the let go here, you think about nothing. Suddenly it's like you're going inside of the picture and you see totally beautiful picture behind it. There is picture behind it. It's unbelievable. It's like actually I don't explain it from the point of the brain, but it's so powerful, right? So that's actually what's happened to us when we do let go of what we know and stubbornness and I know how to do it and then I show you and that's all day we're like holding into something. We're holding on what? What we holding? Like what? What we really know? What we know? We don't really. Everything that it says, you know, Michael Beck explained once. Even you'll know the whole Zohar by heart, right? It's a bite. It's a bite from Garden of Eden. Can you imagine the whole Zohar? Bite from Garden of Eden. And we feel during the day we know so much, and I know how to do this and this, and explain to you this. Even our job. What do we know? We know one way. Do you think that if I let go, that God will give me more ways to do my job and I can even do more? However, those days suddenly, you know, the same time, we finish the project like just in 1 hour. I finished. How does that happen? And some days, week, I didn't finish the project. Because why? I'm not doing let go. I'm stubborn. And I feel like, no, spiritual. Light, show me. And he sends us the message, we send them. You said, Bruce, did you see the movie, Bruce Almighty?
Yes.
He put the sign here, and you're able to see the signs. They like sending the signs all the time. We don't want to see the signs, because we know. That's what he's saying here, you know. That's the external. If I want to see beyond, I need to do let go. If I do let go, the picture will open. Because how the Arei Kadosh, you know, the Kabbalah is the way they reveal the light. You know, everything they've been channeling, right? It's mean the channel was open and the vessel is receive and share, right? So what's happened, you know, the Arei Kadosh, it says about him that everything was revealed to him. He could see everything in a clear way. The Kabbalah is telling us, you know, the more you purify yourself, the more you can see. Because the more we purify ourselves, we're going up in the levels. The more you're going up, you can see more, yes or no? Even here, now we are in I would say like a ground level, right? But if you go to the roof, you will see more. If you go to floor number 15, you see more. 20, 50, 70, helicopter, airplane, you see more? Yes, of course. And I remember I used to work many years ago in Chicago, moving in storage. And one day we went, I don't know what floor it was, insane. It was like, I have a fear from height, right? And the living room, it was, imagine the clouds was under this floor. It's not insane. And all of I don't know how they did it, but all of his living room was glass from floor up. I don't know, I have the guts to go closer. I just look like that. People was like that, like that. Like
Ants.
What
Like
floor?
ants.
What floor was
I
it?
have no idea. I remember it was many years ago. I'm telling you, it was like, I said, oh my God, you see the clouds, like under this cloud, and you see people like that, like ants. Oh my God, that's crazy. But this is part of evolution. So the thing is, the more we will do let go, the more the less I'm going to hold, the more I can see the light, the more I can see the truth. And there is a story about a person. They train to, those people that climbing the Everest, right?
Mhm.
The winter, crazy winters and this. So there was a group that they trained for the competition. So at night, one of them, he decided, you know what, I want to do extra mile, I want to train. Didn't say no one, he just left with his stuff and he went, started to climb. Now it was a little bit storm, and it was dark. And one of the times he put that ankle and he didn't catch, and he started to fall. So thank God you have the second rope, so he stayed in the air. Everything fell, everything flashed, everything, like he left with nothing. No phone, nothing, like he's in the air. And he's screaming, help, help, but who's gonna hear him? Everybody like downstairs sleeping, snoring, and he's like by himself in the mountain, shouting, nothing. So you're going to call. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
So he called God. God, please help me. After a while, he hearing a voice. Cut the rope. Hey, who is here? He's like, nobody's there. God, please help me. Cut the rope. Help. Continually, he says, no, are you insane? I'm going to fall. I'm going to die. In the morning, his friends, they're waking up. They can't find him. So they're going to look for him. They found him on the, hanging, like 2 meters or 3 meters from the earth, from the ground. So the light told him, cut the rope. They want to listen. And the light telling us all the time, cut the rope. No. Let me just hold. We're holding into so much things that we feel we know, but we don't really know. So if I really want to see through, cut the rope. Let go. We know that in the air balloon, if you're not going to throw those sand sack, right? You're not going to go up. But if you stop it, you still hold it, okay, stay on the ground. We have to let go. So he's saying, דהיינו באורות גשמיות, ועבור לא תעשה לחפש לכל תמונה, וכן באמת הייתה חומה בצורה, and now they create a walls around it, around this wisdom. חומה בצורה מסביב החוכמה הזו עד היום, till today, he's saying. אשר רבים ניסו והתחילו בלימוד ולא יכלו, a lot of people start with this study, they tried, and they couldn't continue. בו מחסרון הבנה. Why? Because they lack the what? The understanding. What we should understand? That we don't understand. No, he didn't say that, I was just saying that. No, but he says lack of understanding. ומחמת הכינויים הגשמיים, and there are different words that it can sound like, again, now he mixes here between, there is Kabbalah and also there is the revealed Torah. He said there are words that can sound like material words. This is what can confuse us sometimes. And then we can fall to the 1%. But when we say, one of the things we say, when you study any class of Kabbalah, or any book of Kabbalah that you read, try not to involve as much as you can the 1%, your own 1% way of thinking. Because you're connecting. So I want to see something that I don't have. How can I see something I don't have Or I can bring with something. If I'm bringing myself, before you come in here, leave whatever you know outside and come here to study. Any class, doesn't matter, any connection. Because if we're bringing ourselves in, that's it, everything involved. It's a big salad. So how can I learn something new? So he's saying, ומחמת הכלים הגשמיים אשר על כן טרחתי בביאור פנים מהירות ופנים מסבירות לפרש את הספר הגדול עץ החיים. This is why I put so much effort to explain the shining face and explanation face. It's the name of books. לפרש את הספר הגדול, to explain. Actually, it's the explanation inside, sorry. of Rav Ashlag, to explain the tree of life from the Arizal, ולהפשיט את צורות הגשמיות, and actually I opened up and explained the physical shapes, ולהעמידן בחוקי הרוחניים, and to put them in the spiritual levels. למעלה ממקום ומזמן, above time and space. Because every time we find ourselves thinking about time and space, we're limiting the energy. באופן שיוכל כל מתחיל להבין הדברים מטעמן ונימוקם, like each person is just a beginner. He can understand the taste of it and the explanation about it בשכל בהיר ובפשטות גדולה, with clear mind and with simplicity. And this is why when you read it, you feel, oh, this is not really simple. It's not, but actually it is. Because imagine if we need to read those things like before the Ari Kadosh and before Rav Ashlag, it was like a really, really high level of connection that it was very, very hard to understand. That just few Kabbalists maybe could understand that. And this is why, just to remind us, in Kabbalah we study, it's called the Lurianic Kabbalah. Why? Because Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, before he left the Ramak, he told his student that there will come a day that the person will come and he will start to explain Kabbalah in a way that it will look like it's the opposite or different from what he used to explain. But he didn't say who is the person, and he left. At the day of the burial, they start to fight or to argue where to bury the Ramak, and then the Ari was there, and the Ari told them, guys, why you argue? You don't see, he tells you where he wanted to bury. There is a beam of light here, so put him here. So then they understand that this is the guy, right? So they listen to him. And since then they started studying the Lurianic Kabbalah, so the expansion of the Ari. And the Ari, he downloaded it in a way because it was connected and related to the generations of that time, and us actually our generations. So he made it more in a simple way for us to understand. Now we start to have, or maybe it's not out yet, one of the Ari books. It's in printing, I think, right now. I think it's Reincarnation, if I'm not mistaken. Yes?
I think so, I'm not sure.
I think Reincarnation. It is, right? So it's in printing, thank God. This is to make history, actually, to translate the Ari and to have it in English, hopefully in Spanish and more languages. It's really like, it's history. It's not easy to translate those things. But thank God that the center is doing it, and more and more souls can connect with it. So he's saying, now even a beginner can understand those things in a simple way. לא פחות כמו שמבינים גמרא על ידי פירוש רש"י ז"ל. Not less that people can read Gemara with a translation of Rashi, and they can understand complicated conversations and learn the Gemara. So we'll stop here, and because it's an open house, if anyone have any question that we'd like to ask, related to the class, not related to the class, something from the class, don't be too shy. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, so they need to believe that I'm not alone here. So. Yes, something.
Do you have this class every Tuesday, or is this a one-time event?
No, this is open house. It's ongoing for now, So we have it every Tuesday at 7:30. It's 1 hour. Usually we also watching the Rav He's still fixing the computer, but we're also watching the video from the Rav, like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, those were explanations. But once in a while we have open house, so people to come and join and to see if they like it, they want to join us. So we have it every Wednesday, every Tuesday, 7:30. Yes. More questions?
So is it always going to be about the 10 eliminations or?
Yes, TLE.
Okay.
Yes, this is TLE. Yes. Also, if you don't know, we have the book of TLE. It's not all being translated, but it's the first volume of part of the TLE being translated. So you guys have it and you can start to read about it, and soon we're going to be in the same place of the book where the book starts, and we can learn from it together. Yes. Something from
Michael, you just mentioned about the individual Messiah
Yes.
coming. So can you elaborate a little bit on that topic?
Yes. In a simple way,
Yeah.
when a person purified his thoughts, purified his desire to receive oneself alone, you start to climb the spiritual levels. So it means the understanding of the person, he will start to receive messages related to his vessel. We can receive according to our vessel. You can receive more. If I'm taking this vessel, maybe I want a bucket of water, but I can't have this vessel to have like a bucket, right? So the more I will put, it will just go away. So it means whatever I have, it's according to my vessel. The more I will get, I will do things and take actions against my nature. It means against all of my desire to receive oneself alone. I'm changing, so I'm receiving more messages. So now I'm more connected. More connected means more responsibility. More responsibility, I will do more actions of sharing, of giving, so more receiving, right? That's called like personal Messiah. Because what is Messiah? Messiah, it's a level of consciousness. It's not like we're waiting that someone will come. Imagine now someone comes and said, "Hi, I'm Messiah. What do you think? Oh, this is crazy. 911, right?" So we know it's not the point. It's already started. This is why Kabbalah, it's for that generation. It's already started, the energy of Messiah. It's called the string of Messiah right now. Because what we see, there is a lot of negativities, but also a lot of positivities. Unfortunately, what we capture in, it's just the negativities. And it's more stick in our mind. So imagine when a person connects with the personal Messiah, you more connect with what? With the positivity and how you can remove the negativity. Because what the Kabbalah is telling us, it's how to remove the negativity. But during the day, because all of whatever around us, we more kind of connecting with the negativity and not with the positivity. So if I'm connecting with negativity, I can become, God forbid. But imagine, because we said, if I have an intention, positive intention, if there is a real white bulb, right, and I can share the energy with the world, if I'm connecting now with negativities, which color is going to be there? Not white. So to be a spiritual person, to personal Messiah, it means like, it's kind of, it means like it's almost 24/7. I need to make sure that my consciousness is in the right place. So we're not saying we are there, but how much do you want? That's how much you're going to receive. So it means like there is free will. We can't complain the Creator said, "Oh, listen, I couldn't have time." What do you mean? You have your thoughts. Connect. You have your mouth. You can pray. You can do a lot of things, right? So it's according to how much the person desire. This is how much we can receive. So when a person has real desire, he will do anything right now that in his power, of course, to do. And when we do it, and the light sees that we are doing, now we're receiving more. Can do more, receive more, we do more, right? Right? So that's the thing of personal Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the truth is, if you think about it, a person that have it, he's not going to say that he have it. Because the more you climb, you feel how much you're far from the light. But according to us, if you look at the Kabbalist, you feel, wow, look at the miracles he's creating, right? But for the Kabbalist himself, he doesn't feel what we feel. He feels how still he's far from the Creator and how much still need to be done. And this is why he wants to do more and reveal more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it means when a person have it, doesn't mean he will say, "Oh guys," he put in Facebook, Woohoo! I have the personal Messiah. Woohoo! You want to do it? Buy my program. Yeah! Right? So, no, it's not going to happen like that, right? So, but it's energy. So the more we climb in, the more actually we feel that we're far from the light. So we want, so the desire will be, I want to do more. Make sense? It's you have $1 million, you want more. It's not the finish of it.
Always.
Oh, I did 1 million, that's it, I can retire. Yes? No, let's see how we can do 2 million next year, no? And then 3 and 4. Hopefully, when you have like more and more desires, right? The same here. The more light you have, you want more. Because you see, wow, there is an open channel, and I can share more. We want to be beacon of lights. We want to save the world. We want to remove pain and suffering. So it's not enough, you know. So yes, it can happen. This is what the Kabbalists explain. But we're working on both levels to purify ourselves, to draw the light, affecting our life and also affecting the world. So we want to change not just because now in Rosh Hashanah, so what's going to be open, it's the personal scales, right? It's Libra, personal scales, but also the global scales, the world scales. So the more we inject in more mercy, we're changing our life, and we want to change the global scale to change the world. It's always worked like in both ways. So the more I think just on myself, I'm actually taking from energy of the world. If I'm thinking about, I want to change in the sake of sharing, so I'm also sharing with the world. So we don't want to steal energy, we want to receive in the sake of sharing. So I have more, I'm growing more, personal Messiah, but I can actually save more souls in this world. Yeah. Good question. Yes, more questions? Don't be shy.
I'm not sure about the question. There is a prayer or maybe a sentence on the Zohar or something that you think that if we're feeling during the day that we need to receive some light or we need to higher our energy, we can use, we can say, we can pray. Like,
Yes. So just I'll repeat the question because I don't know if everybody heard. If there is any sentence or something that we can scan or read during the day, if we feel that the energy is low, getting down, something like that, yes. So of course there is, and okay, let's try to do it in the short version. But any tools that we have can connect us. So let's say if you have the 7 kingdoms of God, the 40 kingdoms of God, you have the Zohar with you, everything that we already have, you just open and connect. Whatever you have. You know, it says, and I shared the thing last week, that Joseph the righteous, he always mumbled the 40 names of God, Anabechoach, but not the way we know it, just the letters. He always, and Michael gave one of the Shabbats, he gave a whole lecture about it, the power of it, right? Because he wants to stay always connected. So let's say even a person, I don't know how many years it was, but Karen, she started to do, in Rosh Hashanah, different type of workshops. And one of the workshops, it was with another guy, but they did different type of, it was kind of dancing, tapping, meditations, different type of things. But we used the 7 names of God, not as a word, as letters, right? So we did like, let's say, Memeshin, Hey, I. So whatever like things that we need right now, I feel I'm missing. Because one of the 7 names of God, you can close your eyes, you can dance with it, you can walk with it, you can, whatever you feel right now, you need the vibration, but you just said the letters. Okay, if it's certainty, somebody will take. If it's love, AI, something, that's focusing the energy, so those vibrations actually bringing in that light.
It's here. I don't know if you want to show it or.
The 7, why not?
Yeah,
You can show it.
there's an app.
Okay.
There's
That
an
is
app,
still working.
Kabbalah app and the Zohar app.
Yeah, let me just show here if they. Yeah, because I don't know if our audience notice. Can you see it over there?
Yeah, a little bit closer. Yeah,
Closer?
that's better. The one on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 7 names of God. Okay.
Yeah.
The other one.
Okay, so this is good. Okay, guys, so I'm really happy that all of you came tonight. We are here with the help of God, of course, every Tuesday, 3:30 together. I wish that you all can come and bring your friends. The more people is more energy, so more connections. Thank you for coming. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's close it.
Bye everyone. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Bye bye.
Let's close it.